This segment of DelmarvaLife is sponsored by Benvenuto Restaurant in Milford.
This magnificent piece of meat you're looking at. Oh, no, not that one. This one up here. No, just kidding, just kidding. This one right here. It's actually a 14.5-pound rib roast.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So how did it make its way into the DelmarvaLife kitchen? Well, that's where this magnificent man comes in.
Hunk of meat.
Hunk of meat, right? Hunk of meat.
So we're known for steaks at Benvenuto, right? Everyone
Yes,
knows, they come in and that's what they want. So we do offer a 20-ounce ribeye, and we also offer an 8-ounce filet, center cut filet. But what a lot of folks don't know is that we custom cut. So if you want a 30-ounce or 40-ounce, we will cut that for you. I cut steaks fresh every day. All right, so I'm going to show you. We're going to make one of these for you guys. So when you're doing steaks at home, all right, don't be afraid to season it up, all right? So we're going to use a good amount of salt on this, all right?
That's pretty coarse.
Yeah, because, so really good. This is a kosher sea salt, okay? Now, I like to use pepper at the end. Sometimes when you add pepper, before you sear a steak, sometimes the pepper can burn, okay? So this is what you want to hear, all right? You want to hear that sizzle, all right? And always give it a nice press, a nice firm press here, okay? So that we know that our steak is going to be properly searing, all right? We're going to let that guy go for a little bit. So let's talk about this hunk of meat here.
This hunk of meat.
All right, so this is...
That's impressive.
Yes. So look, this is a ribeye. Some people call it a rib roast. There's a lot of different names for this, but at the end of the day, this is how you're going to do prime rib, okay, and how we're going to do ribeyes. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to peel this sort of fat blanket off of this guy. All right, these are very, very easy to do. Don't be intimidated. All right, you have to put a little Hulk strength into this. All right.
This is your workout.
Yes, it is. And then just using your thumb and your fingers, you're going to sort of separate this from all this goodness up here. Now, this is where I pull my knife out. So you have to kind of wrestle with this guy a little bit. All right. So what we're going to do is this here is the lip down here. All right. So if you're out, you're going to see things like lip on, lip off, all right? If you get a lip off, product, it's going to cost you a little bit more per pound because this is kind of, it's just fat here, all right, that we don't want to pay for. So what I do is I'm going to come down here and just very carefully go across. You see that?
Wow.
Okay. And we remove this. Now, there's very little bit of meat in here. This is great for burgers, all right? So you want to cut this little strip here out, all right? This is a beautiful animal that has given its life, okay, so that we can live. And what we don't want to do is just waste them, all right?
No, not at all.
So now, let's look at this crust that we have on here.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Look at that. See that? You guys see that at home? Look, this is magic, all right? So this is what we're looking for, a really good sear. Keep those juices in there. Now, what we then have is a little bit more fat here that I want to trim out, okay? We're going to cut that out, all right? And then we're going to just take some of this fat off of here as well. Now, if it's really soft, you can probably leave some of this stuff on here because, look, more fat is more flavor, all right? We're going to trim some of this here, all right? So we want to give our guests the cleanest product as possible, all right? So this is what we're doing. So just very little trim, all right? Now, some of these are going to have a bone in, right? Some are bone out. Now, if this had a bone in it, had bones in it, all right, and we cut them with the bone, you would have a bone-in ribeye, okay? What we're doing here is a boneless ribeye. Now, if those bones were French, you have a cowboy steak. If it had a long bone in it, all right, you would have a tomahawk, all right?
Interesting.
They're all the same.
Yeah.
Now, I'll show you another interesting fact, all right? So you're going to have two ends to this ribeye. You're going to have your chuck end, and you're going to have your loin end, all right? On the top here is what's called the spinalis. I'm going to flip this for our friends at home, okay? So what happens is you have a spinalis, which we also know as a rib cap. That's the best part on the steak. So the chuck end, which is the larger end, is going to have more of the eye, and I'm sorry, less of the eye and a bigger spinalis.
Okay.
And then the loin end is going to be the opposite. Okay, so it's going to have a smaller cap. I like a bigger cap because it's going to be, you know, more tender. I think that's my opinion.
Tender.
All right, and then once we have our ribeyes clean, this is what I call the little chef's cut. Okay, so we're going to kind of snack on this. All right, and then we can start cutting.
Bringing out the big knife.
Yes,
knife.
right? Yes. All right, and you know we weigh these out,
Let's say that's
and just
very
to
thick.
show you guys, yeah, you know what these steaks look like, and look at how beautiful
Oh,
that
that's
is.
That is
Gorgeous.
beautiful.
All right, and that's what you want. You want a really nice, beautiful marbling. Okay. So what we're now going to do is we are going to get this ribeye in the oven.
Okay.
Okay. And when we come back, all right, let's see what the sear looks like on that side. Look, that's beautiful.
Perfect.
Okay. All right. See how nice that is? All right. So we're going to go for a nice, maybe medium rare.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
We're going to pop him in the oven.
Pop them in the oven, and when we come back, we'll see what's happening with our steak, and we're going to talk wine. DelmarvaLife will be right back.
This segment of DelmarvaLife is sponsored by Benvenuto Restaurant in Milford.
Take a look at that. As you can see, we've popped our ribeye steak out of the oven, seared to perfection. Chef Zeus from Benvenuto Restaurant is responsible for this perfect protein, but that's not all we're talking about today. We're going to talk a little bit about this award.
Oh my
but
goodness.
Let's,
You see that
what,
award?
What do you got
so
there?
Look, so this here is a perfect accompaniment for any steak,
Oh, it's
and these are
beautiful.
balsamic roasted mushrooms and onions. All right, a little garlic in there, some white balsamic, and
Oh,
right.
I can smell it. It
Oh
smells
yes,
so good.
yes. And then look, all right, there's our perfectly rested steak. Okay.
Which is important.
Yes, yes. You
How
want to
long
let
should
it rest.
Yeah, how long?
Okay. So look, you know, when you pull steak out, even at the restaurant, we're not taking the steak off the grill, put it on a plate, and sending it out. You have to let the steak sort of rest so that all those juices are kind of reconstituted back into where they're supposed to go, and then that's going to ensure for a really nice steak. I got this from my garden. All right. And just to really top it off, and then of course a little bit of pepper on this. And remember, the main thing here is we will cut you any size steak. So if you come into Benvenuto and you say, hey, I'm in the mood for a 40-ounce ribeye, I will cut it. Or if you want a bigger filet, I'll cut it for you. All right, so I want you girls.
Your presentation is always on point.
Thank you, thank you. I want you girls to really, you know, try this and
Okay.
just see what you think. And remember, there's a spinalis there, that rib cap. All right, I'm going to come over here. Hey, and you know what?
Oh, yeah.
We're talking wine. And it is Throwback Thursday, so if you want to throw back, I don't have a problem with that.
You know.
All right? It's all good.
All right,
Because look,
okay.
what goes better, right, with steak than wine?
Cheers.
Right?
I agree.
Okay, all right.
And you guys see we have this Wine Spectator award over here as well, right? What do you guys know about Wine Spectator?
It's the best.
The Best of Award of Excellence.
There you
Best
go.
of Award of
It is.
And
so
it's
we've received
because-
these in the past, but this is like top notch.
And it has
all
a
right?
lot to do with your extensive wine list.
We do. We carry over 350
incredible.
offerings
Wow.
for our guests. So
I'm
look,
getting
we
in there. I'm
are
sorry, just-
a destination point. If you're into wine, you know, we are the spot.
Wow. You don't really need a steak knife for this. Well, congratulations on that, because I know no other
I'm just going
restaurant.
to steal that piece, Lisa.
Go ahead, go for it. No other restaurant in
No,
the area has that.
We are the only restaurant
Oh.
in Delaware that's received this award. If we can just kind of like pin in on that, and
Yeah.
just show that. Show those two glasses, right? But yes, we are very proud of that. Lisa, Pancho, and Sam have done an amazing job in acquiring these awards, but we are crazy proud about this one.
Okay,
Well, how's that steak?
I have to talk about that bite. That was one of the most delicious steaks I've ever had because it's so juicy. It melts in your mouth. Not hardly doing any chewing.
Yeah.
And these mushrooms are incredible.
They're awesome, but you know what you didn't do?
What did I
You
not
didn't
do?
try any of that rib cap.
Okay, I'm going to try it.
Okay.
And that,
well,
and you know what I do? I always save that for last.
Is this it right here?
I do. You know,
I do
always-
that. You ever cut around the middle and you
Yeah.
save the middle for
Yeah.
last?
Lisa, I'm going to return the
And-
favor. You cut a piece
Aw,
for me.
It
That's so
is.
sweet.
It is so good. It really is. And you'll notice it's just a
Thank you.
different tenderness to
I can
it.
tell already. Just Oh my goodness.
Isn't that awesome?
How do you work around this all day?
That's how I look this good. You know? Listen, you know what I say? Thin in the waist, cute in the face.
Oh. Cheers to that.
Yes,
Right?
definitely.
I love it.
Okay, well,
Well, thank you so much for having me, ladies.
I had to take a sip before we talked anymore. Thank you for coming in, and
Yes.
thank you
Yes,
for
chef.
this masterpiece
Always a
of
pleasure.
steak.
Thank you so much.
Stick around, DelmarvaLife will be right back.
That is